What you're about to see is a mega vlog. I, instead of recording just week 3, also recorded week 4, and because of procrastination and executive dysfunction, put them together. Enjoy. Hi! Welcome to Allie's Annotation. My name is Allie, and we are going to be talking about some books. Welcome to my week 3 vlog for NetGalley November. This week, I am going to try and get another probably 5 to 8 books read. It's kind of a lofty goal, but I'm really going to try to hit it. And also, I have several other things in the works because we're getting kind of close to the end of the year now. And so I'm really gearing up for 2026. In the last week, I made myself a list of 26 and 26, so books that I want to read in 2026. And then I also have gone through and I've made a list of every physical book that I own, because this next year I need to work on this. I'm also just working on preparing for that by getting some new annotation supplies, giving myself opportunities for trackers, like adding trackers to my happy planner. And so I'm honestly getting excited about the books that I'm going to be reading coming up next. So we're going to start week 3. At the beginning of week 3, this is what my board looks like. I have rolled for the next several books that I'm going to be reading. So let's talk about what I'm starting off the week with and what's coming up for me. In case you don't know, I have a Post-it for every single arc I get. I have a giant stack in release day order of every arc I've got. And then as I roll them, as they're kind of in my next step, they go into this pile. So right now I am reading The Beheading Game by Rebecca Lehman. I am 30-ish% through this. It's different for me right now, but I don't hate it. So we're going to see. Next up, I have Ledge by Stacey McEwen. This is the oldest book on my NetGalley TBR. It came out in 2023, and I don't know why I haven't read it. I need to. And then I've got Play You For It by Samantha Saldivar. So this is a sapphic romance that's basketball. Basketball is big in my house because my husband's big on basketball. I'm going to try and get through, I don't know, I'm going to try to get through 2 fantasies and maybe 3 romance at least, because the romance will go a little quicker for me. And that's really the goals for the week, is just get some quality reading done. It is a busy week at work for me, so I will be a little bit short on time. But once the busyness of the week is over, once we get toward the end of the week, I do have a lot more time freeing up. So we will see. Good morning. I did not give an update yesterday, so I'm going to give updates today. I'm going to give reading updates last, despite this being a reading vlog. Yesterday, I actually did not read. So from the time that I started recording this video on Sunday till Monday night, I did not read anything because yesterday I had to go to a candlelight vigil for a close friend of a close friend, and it was very sad. So to cope, I did go to the bookstore to make myself feel better. So I'm going to show you what I got at the bookstore, and then I'll talk a little bit about what I've been reading today / overnight, because I did stay up until 2 a.m. So first, as a birthday present for myself months ago, I got myself an LL Bean tote with my initials on it. So I've been wanting an LL Bean tote for a while, and this one is like the perfect size to go to the bookstore with. So I got this. And I grabbed 4 books at the bookstore because I cannot help myself. I had a stack of 17 books in my hands, just so you know. So this is very good. This is pared down. First, I was in like the fantasy section, and the bookseller came up to me and said, "Hi, I'm so sorry. Can I interrupt you for 1 second?" And she said it so nicely. I was like, "Of course." She pointed to this and she was like, "This is the best book I've read this year. If you like political fantasies," and I was like, "You got me." That's all I needed to say. It's called Servant of Earth, and it's by Sarah Hawley. And I know absolutely nothing about this book. I have read Sarah Hawley before, A Witch's Guide to Fake Dating a Demon. I read that one. So that was like a rom-com. It was a fantasy romance. This is a fantasy, maybe romantasy. We'll find out. I grabbed Unseelie because everyone be talking about this book. Evelise Houseman is the author of this, and I've seen so much about this book. Unseelie and Unending. Apparently it's got an autistic twin in there, and cool, that's me. Okay, Heroes of the Empire by Isra Azizi. This is a local author to me. I have been eyeing this series for a while, so I grabbed the first book of it. And last, I did get the new Twilight because that's really pretty. And there's a Twilight read along for her kid, so I'm gonna do that. This was too pretty to pass up. I had to do it. Couldn't help it. So anyway, that's the books I got. Let's talk about my reading that I did. So I am, I've been trying to get to the Beheading Game, but over the past week, the only time I've had to read is at night. And it's a little spooky. I can't read a spooky at night. So I'm reading Play You For It by Samantha Saldivar. And it is really cute, and the prose is really different. Like, the cadence at which the author writes is not rom-com prose. It's more serious romantic prose, which, you know, put together with a romance story, like a contemporary romance story, plus this romantic serious prose is really interesting. I do like it a lot, and I think it doesn't like fall into any of the tropes or formulas that I've been seeing lately in contemporary romance. So I am really enjoying it. I'm about 60% in. I definitely have like a mounting tension feeling, like there's something that's going to happen that's going to be, you know, obviously like the plot climax, but I don't know what it is. Like I have some guesses, but I can't tell, which for romance is kind of cool. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm also, you know, I have a lot of work today and tomorrow, so I don't know how much further I'll get in this, but I do want to try to crank through it. I want to do my next set of rolls. I'm at 92% in Play You For It, and I'm loving it. I'm loving it so bad. Oh, it's gotten better and better as it goes on. Yay. I just really like it. Okay, so I finished Play You For It, and it's so good. This prose style is so different for contemporary romance. Oh, a puppy's gonna come say hi. Come here, puppy. Should we say hello to the puppies? My messy office. Come here. Hello, look at who's there. It's a girl. It's a girl puppy. Hi. That's Maggie. That's my girl. The writing in this was very serious. It was romantic prose. And so that just made the book feel a little bit more serious. And like, this isn't just like, oh, finding the love of my life. Like, this is finding someone to spend your life with and what it feels like when that clicks. And it really didn't follow a formula, which was also really nice. So I really enjoyed this. I got my review written immediately for it. Who is she? And I just got a package. I have so many things to show you all this week. And I have 2 more pickups this week at a bookstore and at an event. So many things. I got new dice. I'm doing a dice TBR for 2026. And I want to be annotating a lot of these books that I read physically. So first up is a set of these pens from Rytec. This is the Rytec Silent Clicker Gel Pen, 0.5 millimeter needlepoint tip. This is, oh my gosh, I don't know how to show anything. This is my favorite pen. I already have one of this pen, and I literally bought an entire pack because I love how it writes. All of them are black ink. I do have a couple of the colored ink ones, and they don't hit the same. So I bought a whole pack of them. I also highlight when I annotate, and okay, yeah, so this is a pack of highlighters. I don't care about all these. I only care about this one. The Stabilo Swing Cool highlighter in Lilac Haze. Purple is my favorite color. The color of this purple is beautiful. I love the way it highlights. I am a little bit of a stickler for that, so this is the one. And now I just have bonus highlighters. I love this type of highlighter. I just don't use this color a ton. And finally, I got annotation tabs because, look, I have been trying to use like the same color annotation tabs for everything. And that's not working for me. It's so hard to anticipate how many you're going to need for each book. I've been moving around on colors anyway, so I figured why not get a massive pack of every color I could ever need. This is technically, it's 8,000 tabs. And I'm going to start matching my tabs to book covers because look at all the options that I have. Perfect. I'm just really excited to get my physical TBR down, to continue reading more. I am going to read a lot of these books as a part of some upcoming readathons, so stay tuned for more news. And yeah, so I did get some reading done today. I'm going to be working on work late into the night, probably hanging out on sprints while I work, and then maybe I will read some more of The Beheading Game, but only before nighttime because, again, it gets too scary. I'm currently 5%, only 5, into The Beheading Game. And what I've decided, I'm watching Nicole's sprints tonight, and then I'm going to do some work, is that I'm going to read for 1 sprint. The thing is, in addition to being spooky at the beginning, The Beheading Game, there's nothing hooking me yet. So I'm going to read for 1 sprint, an hour and a half, which should give me the opportunity to get 25-ish% through. And if I'm still just not really wanting to pick it back up, I'm softy enough because I don't need to push myself to read something that I'm not interested in. An update on The Beheading Game. I'm 11% in. I have no idea what the exposition is to this plot. There's no rising action yet. All we have is what's in the description of the book, which is that Anne Boleyn, after being beheaded, wakes up and puts herself together and tries to figure out what to do next. And I'm at 11% and she hasn't decided yet. But there's nothing pulling me in. I'm calling it, I'm DNFing The Beheading Game. The thing is, I made it to 16% in this hour and a half. And I finally got to like the exposition of the plot, like the thing that the main character decides to go do the thing, and it made no sense. All the narration is so dispassionate. There is no emotion behind it. There's nothing to attach me to this character. The language that's used feels like almost clinical, and so I'm left being like, why do I care? And 16% through to hit the exposition is crazy. And also, in addition, it didn't make sense. I have already done a preview of my rolls for the next 5 books after Ledge, but we're going to read Ledge by Stacey McEwen. This is the book that has been on my TBR longer than anything else. I have put off reading this forever, and I don't totally even know why, because I read the synopsis for this and it looks awesome. Good morning. I'm 50% through Ledge and I love it. I'm like 54% through, I think. I read last night up to like 35-40%, and then I had to pick it back up this morning, and now I have to get some work done. So I'm like, I have to put it down, but I don't want to. This is great. And I think what I like about it so much is that the exposition of the book happens relatively soon and is pretty action-packed. The first 20%, there's a lot that happens. And then, like, getting into the rest of the first half was really a lot more world building because of the amount of action that's happened so far, and because the main character, Dawson, has such a strong sense of not morality, but like purpose. It doesn't bother me because so many other things have been done really well and are helping like compensate for that plot. So I'm really, really enjoying it right now, and I will absolutely be finishing it after my giant work meeting today that I have to go work on now. It's been a day. It's been a very long day. So finally finished work, finished my enormous meeting, got all of my deliverables done for it. And so now I'm going to read the rest of the night. I'm going to finish Ledge. I'm 54% of the way through, I think. Yeah, I have 2 hours and 15 minutes left of the book. Once I get going, it'll probably go a little faster. So I'm definitely going to be finishing Ledge tonight. And then I get to start on things from my next set of rolls. So I'll go through those once I finish this. And I'm rewarding myself with my 17th Diet Coke today. So that's not a problem. It's pairing very, very nicely with my Adderall. Thank you. And I'm watching Anna's sprints. So yay. Okie dokie, gang. We have reached the point of the night where I am now slathered in night cream and Sneech stars. And I have finished Ledge. And why did I wait so long to read that? I really enjoyed it. I think that the book did have some technical errors with the writing, some things that for me weren't enough to make me like not enjoy it, but definitely pulled me out of things a little bit. I do like take a cruise through other reviews to see what other folks are saying, make sure that I'm like considering lots of viewpoints, whatever. And so I will say that I've seen some reviews that are mixed on this because of those technical errors. However, I loved the characters. Like I continually wanted, like I grew attached to these characters. And I think that despite some of the world building failings, the characters that I enjoyed, like legitimately, I wanted to keep reading about them. And I think that there's a lot to be said for just having a book that makes you want to continue reading it. So I really liked that. I'm really glad I read that one. And now we have our next set of rolls. So as always, I did those rolls off camera, and instead of rolling 3 this time, I rolled 5 because it's getting to be kind of like just, I'm reading so fast. It's just a little awkward to be like, here's 3, here's another 3, here's another 3. I rolled for 5 books this time so that we don't need to keep going back and rolling. So the next 5 books that I will be reading, lots of recent and upcoming releases. First is going to be Sparks Fly by Zakiya and Jamal. I'm so excited. I'm reading this one first. I'm starting this tonight after I write some reviews. I've just been too excited for it. Next will be A Heart of Crimson Flames by A.K. Mulford. So earlier this month, I read The River of Golden Bones, A Sky of Emerald Stars. Now I can finally get to book 3, which I actually have a NetGalley arc for, which is A Heart of Crimson Flames. Then I'll be reading Thrown for a Loop by Serena Bowen. This one I have a physical, just an advanced finish copy of that is signed by the author, so that's really exciting. And also an arc on NetGalley, so I have both. And then I'll be reading The Duke's Lady by Eliana Piers, which is a historical romance fiction. And finally, I'll be reading Lady Dragon by A.M. Strickland. So those are the next 5 books that are going to be up on my list and that we're going to be going through. So I'm going to go write some reviews, and then when I'm done, I will go ahead and get started on Sparks Fly. Yay! Reviews and things done. I'm going to go start Sparks Fly and fall asleep. All right. I started Sparks Fly last night, and I only got a little ways in before I fell asleep. So today, I'm actually like dressed, put together. Today I am going to go pick up an order that I placed at Tropes and Trifles, my local romance bookstore. And then I'm going to take myself on a little reading date to Chili's because Tropes and Trifles closes earlier. And then I'm going to go see Wicked Part 2 with my mom and my sister. So, taking myself on a little bookstore read date. I got my little boat tote, got my Kindle, got my AirPods. I am going to continue to read Sparks Fly while I'm having dinner. But on the way down, because it's like an hour down to the cities and back, each way. So I am going to start also A Heart of Crimson Flames by A.K. Mulford. So yeah, Sparks Fly has been going well. I'm really enjoying it. A Heart of Crimson Flames is the 3rd installment in the Golden Court trilogy by A.K. Mulford. I'm really excited, and I have that on audiobook, which is really nice because I do need something to listen to while I drive. And of course, after I make my stop, I will do another little book haul because boy, oh boy, this is the week, the month for getting books. All right, outfit check. Little green shirt, toe bag, Nike Air Force. We're ready to go. All right, I got a bag full of books from Tropes and Trifles, and I've gotten 24% of the way through. It's like really dark here. I've gotten 24% of the way into A Heart of Crimson Flames on my drive down so far. And I don't know that I like this. Like, I feel like I don't like it as much as the first one. And the second one, which I also didn't like as much as the first, but I did like the female main character, the main character of the second book better. So this one, I'm not quite sure how I feel about it because it's adding the third female main character. And right now, she's got a lot of internal monologue. Girlie's got a lot to think. You know what I mean? So we'll see. But I'm going to switch to Sparks Fly because I'm now at Chili's. I'm going to go have myself a little me date. All right. I am now outside the movie theater. About to go meet my mom and my sister. I got to 22% in Sparks Fly, and it's so cute. It's another one of those, they have a one-night stand type of situation. They don't get numbers after or whatever, and then, oh no, they show up at work together the next day, and this is one of my favorite tropes. Also, the Wicked martini glass drinks at Chili's are very good. They're very good. So, yeah, I'm gonna go watch Wicked now with my family. All right, I just got out of Wicked for good. I'm grabbing a Diet Coke and heading on my hour drive home, so I am gonna keep reading A Heart of Crimson Flames, and then I'm going to talk about my thoughts about the movie probably tomorrow. There's some things that I'm not a huge fan of in terms of overall thematic messaging, but everything else about the movie was good, if that makes sense. Obviously, No Good Deed was the highlight, so there's that. But yeah, so I'm going to listen to Heart of Crimson Flames, go home, and read Sparks Fly. All right, good morning. I'm going to talk about last night, give you a little recap of things while I moisturize and get ready for the day. So last night I went and saw Wicked, and that like part 2 for good, whatever. And then I came home. I did hop on sprints a little bit, and then I did some reading. So, yeah, it was a very, very full day of things, and I'm so happy. First and foremost, I've gotten to, I think I'm about 25% each through Sparks Fly and Heart of Crimson Flames. And Sparks Fly, I'm really enjoying. I've got some, I don't know, not issues, not concerns, but hesitancy with A Heart of Crimson Flames because the author is bringing in a third female main character's POV. It's not, I don't even know how I want to say this. In multi-POV situations, a critical component of that is making sure that your different points of view are maturing or developing at similar paces so that even if there are differences in like the intensity of what's happening, you know, like you'll leave off on a really intense part of one character's POV and then you'll go and, you know, it'll drop off and you'll read a different character's POV and be like, oh my God, what just happened? That is done for kind of a contrast emphasis. But in this case, what's happening is first book, POV 1, we got that character's development and we got to know them and they're at the mature end of their character development. Book 2, we added in a second POV, and because there were only 2, one character is mostly developed, the other character is getting their development. It was okay, but it was still, you know, a little disconnected. And now in this book, we've got our third POV. All 3 are happening. POV 1, 2, 3. They cycle through in different chapters. And we've got one character who's pretty fully developed, a second character who is mostly developed, but I'm still sensing some active development from her. And then we've got character 3, and it almost feels like the author is like rushing to give us their development because the other 2 are so far along, if that makes sense. Like we're getting all of this third character's chapters are heavy internal monologue so far. Only 25% in, which for 3 POVs means I've had like 3 scenes with them. So, it feels like character development info dumping a little bit so far. That said, I still want to know what happens, and that second character is still my favorite one. Now that I'm sufficiently moisturized, quick recap, Sparks Fly is still hitting. That's what I'm going to focus on reading today. But the other things that I did yesterday, I went to the bookstore. And first, I got a little small stack of things that are secret, aka someone who's watching this video might be receiving them. But let's talk about what I got for me. I had a couple of pre-orders. I have multiple receipts from pre-orders picked up. Oops. But I got first my pre-order of Honeymoon Phase by Amy Dawes. This is a book that I actually read this month on the ALC. I had an advanced copy. And so I already had the physical copy on pre-order from my local romance bookstore. And I got a couple of stickers. Look at this. It's a sticker of the annotator with wrist tattoos. Bitch, that's me. This is me. This is my tarot card. And then I got some annotation stickers. I usually don't do stickers with my annotation, but I have some in my little annotation kit. These ones are like reaction stickers. And these are the types of things that I would scribble in margins. So if I like these, I'll probably buy some more. I did get the teeniest, tiniest little novella as a gift, because I have a friend who does not read romance at all. And we at an event this past summer, we were talking about the inanimate object erotica books, and I told him about this one. He was like, that's not real. And I'm like, oh, it is. So I'm gifting him a copy of Stuffed by Sylvia Morrow. This is a living pillow romance. She does it with a pillow. I don't know what else to tell you. So had to get a copy of that. And then I pre-ordered Our Vicious Oaths by N.E. Davenport. So this is one of my 26 in 26 books. I will probably do a video going over those soon, but I'm really excited. I've heard only amazing things. And then, Atia, this is all your fault. It's not your fault. Thanks to you. Because I did go ahead and grab a copy of Immortal Dark. I am in my paperback era. I'm wanting paperbacks for most things. And so I didn't grab Eternal Ruin yet because paperback is not available. That will be going on pre-order, again, through my local bookstore. So I only grabbed Immortal Dark for now. And so this is also on my 26 and 26 list. So yeah, got myself a little haul of books, and it was a great time. Okay, so I'm continuing to read Sparks Fly today. And it's so good. Like, I keep having to pause every half a chapter because I'm just like, oh, that was so smart. That was so good. That was such a smart choice by the author. That was so good. I loved that part. Like, I love this. It's so good. I have 8% left. So I'm gonna go read that, but it's so good. I love it. Let's do some updates while I have my star patches on, because my face is breaking out right now. It is so dry, and I basically need to be putting on moisturizer every couple of hours. So, we're just covering our face in stars because that's what my skin needs. Anyway, so I did finish Sparks Fly by Zakiya and Jamal, and it is so good. It's so good. There were so many things that I called out to myself that I really enjoyed about the book. I think the thing that really struck me was that the climax of the book, which is funny because the book did have a lot of climaxes, if you know what I mean. But the climax of the book really, usually in a romance book, it's about something goes wrong with the couple. There's either a third act breakup or there's something they have to deal with together. But this book was different because it wasn't just about Stella and Max, the main characters, the main character couple. It was about Stella's growth and how she deals with challenges separate from Max. I don't want to share too much stuff, but it's about how she is changing to be ready for the relationship and what Max can offer her. And I just thought that was such a good message to hear. I remember when I was, still dating before I met my husband, and it was constantly this battle of, am I ready for this? Am I at a point where I like myself enough to let somebody else love me kind of thing? And I really, really enjoyed it. So this one's going to be a high recommend for me. I'm really burying the lead because also today is the best day of my life. Veronica Roth has a new book coming out in summer 2026. If you don't know Veronica Roth, she's the author of Divergent, but she's written a bunch of other books besides, and I love every single one of them. She is one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite author of all time, and I love her books. And so I immediately applied for her new one when it came out on NetGalley, and I immediately got denied, which is fine. Tor doesn't usually approve me for much, or if anything. And I was like, okay. I did decide to go ahead and shoot my shot because several folks have been really encouraging to me in terms of kind of growing my reviewer presence. And so I did email their publicity department. I was just like, hey, I love this author so much. Here are some examples of reviews that I've written for her books in the past. I would just really love to be considered for like a digital copy of this. And they replied and they gave me a digital copy. And then they surprised me today and sent me a physical copy of Seek the Traitor's Son by Veronica Roth. Can you believe this? I posted the video on Instagram, but I got in my car to go grab a couple groceries quick. I just like swung by my mailbox as I backed out of my driveway. And I was like, a package? I wasn't expecting a package. And I cried in my car. I literally like had to pause my car in the driveway. And Josh was like, what are you doing out there? I'm like crying because they sent me a physical galley copy of Seek the Traitor's Son. It doesn't even have the cover yet. It's just the uncorrected proof copy. I've already gone through and picked out the annotation tabs I'm going to use that match the book. It's the best day of my life. This is now my prized possession. I'm going to be so normal about this. I cannot wait to read this. This is probably going to be my first December read, honestly. I'm going to carry this with me everywhere that I go until I read it. I'm so grateful that that team saw how passionate I am about her books and that they sent this to me. And I'm so happy. I did get a tiny bit read on A Heart of Crimson Flames on audiobook, and I will probably read more of that tomorrow. But in the meantime, for my next non-audiobook read, I am going to start reading Thrown for a Loop by Serena Bowen. This is a book that was sent to me by Forever, and Serena Bowen actually had an author event locally. And so it is signed and personalized to me, which is so cute. I've already picked out my little bookmark that I'm going to be reading with this one. And I am going to be working on annotating all my physical copies of books moving forward. The ones that I'm pretty sure I'm going to like and keep. Any ones that are signed to me. So this is our annotation tab set that I'll be using. And as you saw in a previous video, I got new annotation supplies. So we're ready to go. So it's been a hot minute since I updated on what's going on with books. Let's do it. So first, I am about 85% of the way through A Heart of Crimson Flames still. I did finish my review finally for Sparks Fly. Absolutely loved it. Submitted that review. And Heart of Crimson Flames, I'm liking it. I think the second book is still the one that is my favorite, or like that I prefer. But I do like this one still. And that one I've been reading on audio, but I'm thinking about switching to my Kindle so that I can read in bed. I just don't want to bother Josh with audiobook while I'm in bed. But I'm a little worried about the format switch, so maybe I'll test my AirPods on, but I do expect to finish that one tonight. I've also started Thrown for a Loop. I've read like a chapter and a half of this one, and I really like the opening so far. This one I also have on my Kindle, but I want to annotate, so I'm going to stick reading physical copy of this one, and then that means I can't read it in bed because it'll be too dark. So once I finish The Heart of Crimson Flames, I'm going to switch over to A Duke's Lady by Allie Piers. That's kind of the next one up from my rolls that I did earlier this week. So we're going to keep cruising through. After submitting Sparks Fly, I have 10 reviews left to submit in order to hit my 80% goal. In other news, I did just get back from a bookish event. I am very blessed to have an incredible indie bookstore scene locally to me. I live in the Minneapolis-St. Paul area. Some of my favorite bookstores are the Irreverent Bookworm, Black Garnet Books, Enchanted Quill, and one of the bookstores is a romance bookstore, Tropes and Trifles, and they work so hard to bring authors to Minnesota. And they run so many events, and tonight's event was for the Brimstone release. So Callie Hart came and did a talk in Minneapolis here. So I went to that. I saw several bookish friends. Look at how cute. But that means I got some books. So obviously a copy of Brimstone came with my ticket. It is like the deluxe edition. It is signed. They didn't like do a signing. You just got to get your book signed. Like you got a signed book. So it's the naked cover. This is the deluxe edition. So it does have the end paper art here. I have not read Quicksilver yet. So I don't know who that is. I know that I want to read the books. I just haven't yet. So I don't know who's in these books. I did also, you know, since they were doing signed copies of books, I did also grab a copy of Quicksilver as well. Same thing, signed. It's the matching deluxe edition. It does have end paper art. I'm assuming this is, what's her face? Saris. I'm assuming that's the dude Kingfisher. So, again, I haven't read these. I'm so sorry. But look, I mean, they're cute. They're signed. I couldn't not. But the moderator tonight was Danielle L. Jensen. And I loved the Saga of the Unfated. The Bridge Kingdom series is next up on my TBR. And I'm also going to read Dark Shores. I just really, really like the writing that I've read of her so far. And I already have a copy of A Fate Inked in Blood with the like metallic-y pages. So I did go ahead and grab A Curse Carved in Bone. This one has been on my list anyway to get. But, I mean, they're like, oh, do you signed? Yep. Absolutely. And I will say, Danielle L. Jensen was a fantastic moderator. Like, she's so witty, and she had, like, just brought so much levity to the conversation. She's very, very good speaker. So, I just had an awesome time tonight in the Sass and Book Friends. We're all so cute. And so it was a really good time. Hi, hello. I keep forgetting to update you. I'm really bad at vlogs. So right now it is Tuesday the 25th, and I have not read in like 2 days because things have just been real busy, which is totally fine. And so for that reason, what I think I'm going to do is I was going to record like my outro for week 3 reading vlog and intro for week 4. We're just going to keep rolling. We're going to do week 3 and 4 in the same video because I haven't been reading for like 2 days. And then the rest of the week when I don't work, maybe I'll actually read something wild. That's what I'm going to do. And then we'll roll for our last couple of reads. And this would be 4. And then it would only take 6 more. And like 2 of them are really short, easy reads. And then it would only take 4 more. So could I do it? Maybe. Also, I decided that I'm going to do 75 booked with one of the bindery tastemakers that I follow. So I will talk more about that tomorrow. Also, the team over at Forever sent me a book today. They've sent me The Love Audit by Lucy Eden. This one launches on December 2nd, and it is one that I do have a digital copy of too, because it looks awesome. Hello, it's me. I finished Heart of Crimson Flames, and it was pretty good. I might save more of my thoughts for that for the recap video, because this vlog being 2 weeks is going to be crazy. But I finished that, and I am moving on Thrown for a Loop tonight. We're watching Nicole Sprints, and I've also been just like trying to get stuff posted and edited. So yeah, that's what we're doing. I wrote my review for Heart of Crimson Flames. And before writing that review, okay, I was at 70%, and I had 10 reviews left to submit to hit 80%. So I submit my review, and in my brain, I'm like, cool, now I only have 9 left to get to 80%. And then as I submit, I see that I've been approved for one more thing. So now I still have 10 left to hit 80%. No! Luckily, the thing that got approved is the audiobook version of another book I've got on NetGalley. So if I read that, then I will be able to submit it for 2 reviews. And what is that book? It is We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. I read another Stacia Stark book and I really liked it. So I have to do a lot of driving over the next 2 days. And so I think I might pop this on tomorrow while I'm in the car because I need an audiobook. It's the only one on the list. And I will just not roll for it. So I think I'll do this. That's fortuitous timing. Okay, so I'm like a quarter of the way through Thrown for a Loop. think this is like this might be like a fake dating situation, or like they have to fake liking each other, like being partners. And I didn't know that. Oh, yay. Good morning. I've been reading for hours. So last night I got a little ways through Thrown for a Loop, as I talked about, and this morning I read the entirety of A Duke's Lady by Allie Pierce. This is one of the books that I rolled, and it was a read now for historical fiction, and I picked a historical romance because romance is fiction, and it was only it was under 200 pages. And it was fine. It was so short though, and it was simple. I think that I just want a little something more complex out of it. So anyway, I'm going to get ready for the day. I'm going to go visit my grandma who's in the hospital, and so I am going to listen to We Who Will Die on audiobook on my way down, and then I'll probably spend most of the day there, but yeah, that's my plan. I'll read Thrown for a Loop while we're there. Maybe I'll read to her. Who knows? And yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. All right, I just got done with my first longer drive of the day, and so far, I'm listening to We Who Will Die, and it's like a mix between Hunger Games and Serpent in the Wings of Night, plot wise. But I really like the main character, so it's going well. Okay, boy, oh boy, it's been literally one full day since I updated, and it feels like so many things have happened. I gave y'all an update, I think yesterday morning or the night previously, so it might be nearly 48 hours, but in any case, I have so many updates. So first, on the reading front, I have made it to page 131 in Thrown for a Loop. I haven't made it as far as I would have liked. This is what I'm going to be working on tonight. It is Friday. It's Friday. When it's the holidays and there's a lot of days off work, I am discombobulated. But I'll be working on this tonight. So I really actually hope to finish this because I'm annotating. It takes me a little bit longer than normal to get through, but I am enjoying this. It has quite a few flashbacks, and that's pulling the pace a teeny bit slow. But other than that, I do really, really like it so far. So I'm liking this. And that's what we're going to be doing tonight. And then I'm also reading We Who Will Die by Stacia Stark. I am currently reading this as an ALC from NetGalley, but I also do have the e-arc. And because on Wednesday I drove down to the hospital, sat with my grandma for a while, and then yesterday I drove down to see her again, went to my mom's house. So because just so much driving, the audiobook has just been a lot easier to work with. And then I also went shopping with my mom and grandma today a little bit. My other grandma, the one who's not in the hospital. So I have been driving, and We Who Will Die, I'm 62% in. I really like it. I think that there's this tendency in a lot of fantasy nowadays where if it's about a rebellion, if it's a little bit of an allegory for fighting against oppression, I feel like a lot of them have been very heavy-handed lately, very obvious allusions to current regime type things. Very heavy-handed, but this is much more subtle, and this is much more reader, here are the tools you need to draw your own conclusions about what oppression looks like and how you fight against it. And so I'm really liking that aspect of it, that the allegory is nuanced. And it's interesting because this very much, it's super reminiscent of Hunger Games, Tri-Wizard Tournament, The Serpent in the Wings of Night. It's very reminiscent of those, but it still stands on its own. So I think it's hindering me a little bit, that I keep going oh, that's kind of similar to this. Even though it does stand on its own, it is not a copy of that. But in any case, I do really like it. That's one that I also hope to finish in the next day, because then we're in our last 2 days coming up of NetGalley November. So after these two, I am going to be knocking out, without rolling, I'm going to be knocking out some of the shorter reads that I have. So I'm going to be reading a book under 200 pages, which is a graphic novel. I'm going to be reading an anthology that I did start but didn't get too far in, but an anthology I think will go really quickly. I'm going to be reading a cookbook from the Read Now section. I am going to read a short romance novel. And I'm just ultimately looking to get some more things reviewed. I think I'm going to get really close to the 80%, but I don't think I'm going to hit it this month. which is totally fine. For some other fun updates, I've acquired more books. This month, I think I've acquired more books this month than I have like the rest of the year, which I will say like, it's okay because I'm doing a physical TBR game for 2026 to really knock that down. And also I've been intentionally acquiring books. So I've been acquiring books that I have been wanting for a long time. I'm not getting quite as many trophy books, really books that I know that I want to read and I'm going to enjoy. So let's go through some books. I went shopping with my mom and her mom today in Stillwater, Minnesota, which is like a riverside town, and it's got tons and tons of small businesses and shops. I went to a little juice store, got some pressed juice that I'm going to drink. Went to a candy store, got some chocolate, some Chicago mixed popcorn, and I did go to some bookstores. You saw earlier in this video the very, very thoughtful birthday trip that my husband took me on. So my grandma got me the next 3 books in the realm of the Elderlings. Josh got me the first 3. So my grandma Shirley got me Ship of Magic, Mad Ship, and then Ship of Destiny. Ooh, there we go. So now I have 6 books in the realm of the Elderlings, and those are going to be a priority for 2026. At today's little shopping trip, I got 4 books. So first we went to Black Letter Books in Stillwater, Minnesota, which is a used bookstore. It's used, rare, and out-of-print books. And so I got The Witch King by Martha Wells. This is a signed copy. It's the Illumicrate edition. They did put this nice thing on here because it is like new. It's got sprayed edges and it's signed. And they had it on sale for $12. Twist my arm. And then I found a hardcover copy of Daughter of the Forest by Juliette Marillier. I have been wanting to read Juliette Marillier for a long time, and it is very difficult to find any of her books at any used bookstores because they go so fast. So this was kind of like a holy grail for me, and it was $10. Are you joking? Okay. Then I went to Valley Booksellers in Stillwater, Minnesota, and I've been influenced by Jess Kiwi. So I'm gonna be looking to read Pure Nessie in the next year here. I was influenced. It's really short, so I'm gonna read this. But this adorable bookstore has a program where if you join their loyalty program, which is $25, period, it's not yearly, that's the total cost of membership for life, then with every purchase you make, every single visit, you get to grab an ARC. Like they get shipped ARCs from publishers that they buy from. And so they just, instead of keeping them for themselves and for the booksellers, they have a shelf of them and you get to pick up an ARC every time you make a purchase. Yeah, I'm going to pay $25 for that. Are you kidding? So I got Death Meets Cute by Jay Penner. This is a like cozy romantic fantasy. In the little blurb, it says, for fans of A Fellowship of Bakers and Magic and Legends and Lattes. So it seems to be like it's very much just a cozy little romantic fantasy. But I was like, that's a beautiful cover. This one is going to come out in April, so I can't wait to read this. On yesterday's morning sprints, y'all picked up my new Kindle case, which of course was the clearback ones that I could add stickers. So I do have stickers added on the back of that now. 2 Diet Coke stickers because that's important. And last but not least, I am joining what's called 75 Booked, which is instead of 75 hard or 75 soft, this is just 75 booked. But this is being hosted by From the Mixed Up Desk, which they're an Indigenous bookstagrammer. They run the Booze Who Books bindery imprint, and they're running 75 Booked as a part of their Discord. I started on Wednesday, and a part of it is journaling, which I never do. We are doing little baby journaling for me. We are doing little attempts. So this is my journaling. I am just keeping track of my reading sprints. The goal is 2 reading sprints a day that are 45 minutes each, 2 full things of water during one during each sprint, as well as taking some time to journal each day. And then, so I am keeping track of my sprints and what I do each day. Plus I'm going to make a little thing for each book that I read. So since Wednesday, I've only finished The Duke's Lady, but I'm also halfway through Thrown for a Loop, halfway through We Who Will Die. So as I finish books, I'll be adding them to these spreads. I'm very new to journaling. We're trying our best. That's a lot of updates. I think that's all the updates for now. I am hopping on to Nicole's sprints tonight, and we are going to be getting through Thrown for a Loop. I did it. I finished Thrown for a Loop. It's almost 400 pages, so it's bigger than I expected. But I really enjoyed this so much. I think like the main hurdles that they had to go through weren't necessarily like super surprising. I did guess the ending thing. It's funny because my funniest annotation, the one that I think is funniest, I can't show you because it gives away the ending. But I had a really good time. I liked it a lot. I really liked kind of the process of annotating this and going through like and highlighting character development. So it was a really good time. It was also my second 75 booked sprint for the day. So that is done. And now I'm going to go to bed. I think I'm going to read the graphic novel Zolo in bed, or at least start it. I am really tired, so might just sleep. And then tomorrow we're gonna finish We Who Will Die. All right, good morning. Good morning. I did finish reading Zolo last night. This is it. Technically, it's a graphic novel. It's like almost 200 pages long, but it's actually more like a picture book, and it is so cute. It is basically a retelling of the Quetzalcoatl myth, Mexican cultural folklore, and it is a retelling from the perspective of Shalut, who is, in this story, Quetzalcoatl's brother, and goes by the nickname Zolo. And it is so cute, and the art is amazing, and I really, really enjoyed it. So today, I am going to be making a trip back to the hospital. So again, I will read We Who Will Die on audiobook. And then I will also be reading Poor Decisions, the cookbook. I'm also going to try to get through Holiday Love. We're going to try and get a lot of things finished. Again, this is going to be the weekend of reading, of trying to get as close to 80% as we can. I don't think I'm going to get exactly there, but we are going to do everything we can to get there. Okay, hello. It is snowing big time. You know what? I'll insert a clip here of like what it looks like outside right now. So this is how much snow we've got. It doesn't look like a lot, but it's very, very slippery snow. I am about to leave the hospital. It's probably going to take me about 2 hours to get home. It normally only takes me an hour, but I'm going to be driving for the next little while here, which means more audiobook. I did listen to more of We Who Will Die on the way down here, and this book is getting really good. I'm so excited for this. It's coming out in December, and there were a couple moments just with the character development in this like little 10% that I read on the way down, and oh gosh, it's literally, there were a couple of moments that kind of like I would say like load bearing moments for character development and relationship development between different characters and stuff that I was just like, oh my God, my heart. Oh. And so I like bookmarked them just so I can go back later and get the direct quote. But I'm really, really liking it so much. So now I'm going to drive home. I'm going to listen more. And when I get home, I'll probably finish off We Who Will Die. At the hospital, I read a couple pages of Poor Decisions, the cookbook. And I'll probably finish that tonight too. And then I have a bunch of reviews to write. So yeah, that's the plan. Hello. I haven't been recording quite as many updates because I looked at how long this video was getting and I was like, but since last time I updated, here's where we're at. We Who Will Die is done and reviewed. I really enjoyed it. I've also never seen Vampire Diaries, so I don't have any familiarity there, but I really, really, really liked it. This morning, it is Sunday. It is the last day. I read Poor Decisions, the cocktail cookbook, and it was fine. The thing is that the graphics, the pictures were amazing, and there was a lot more that I wanted out of it. It was a little bit basic, I felt like. So, in any case, I got those done. I got reviews submitted for all of those, and so now I think I'm going to edit videos. Like, I should pick up This Is How We Roll. I should, but I'm just not feeling readery. I also could pick up Holiday Love. I could read that. I don't know. I'm not feeling in a ready mood right now. I think I can finish This Is How We Roll later tonight. But for now, I'm going to just work on editing videos and stuff. So, yeah. We are calling it. We're calling NetGalley November. It is 11:30 p.m. I just hopped off of sprints and I edited videos. My TBR video is about to go up. This vlog, I got fully edited. It's so long. I'm so sorry. And I was happier doing this and talking with my friends. I didn't want to force myself. And I reviewed 22 books this month. That's insane. So I'll be back in the morning with just a quick little wrap up. But that's it. I'm going to bed. Okay, so that's it. That's all of NetGalley November. It is officially December 1st. And we're starting Reindeer Readathon. It feels wild. NetGalley November was so much fun. I'm going to go make my wrap-up video, so I will see you there. But thank you so much for joining me on this mega vlog. And I'll see you next time.